She sat in that interview chair and casually confessed to a decade-long manipulation. Not of her ex, not of her label, of her own fan base. And the most chilling part? She planned it from the very beginning. Taylor Swift doesn't make mistakes. Every career move, every album release, every tearful interview, it's all architecture. But on live television, in front of millions of viewers, she let the curtain slip. She described in her own words exactly how she manufactured one of the most obsessive fan bases in music history. And she did it with a smile. This is the strategy she accidentally exposed, and once you see it, you can never unsee it. To understand what happened in that interview, you have to go back to 2012. Taylor Swift releases Red, a breakup album. Raw, messy, emotionally devastating. And buried inside it, not as a single, not as a promotional track, is a song called All Too Well. 4.5 minutes, critically loved, commercially invisible, but Taylor knew something the public didn't. That song had originally been 10 minutes long, 6 or 7 extra verses. An entire emotional novel compressed into a pop song. And here is where the strategy begins. Because instead of releasing that full version, she made a calculated decision to sit on it. Not destroy it. Not forget it. Sit on it. And then, in an interview, she mentioned it. Just once, casually, like it was an accident. It wasn't. The moment she said those words, it started as a 10-minute song. She ignited something inside her fan base that she knew would never go out. The fans became obsessed. They demanded it in every interview, every press tour, every red carpet. For years they asked. For years she deflected. And every single time they asked, the myth of the 10-minute version grew larger, more sacred, more untouchable. She wasn't sitting on a song, she was sitting on a bomb. And she was choosing the exact right moment to detonate it. Now here's what she actually revealed on live TV, and this is the part that should stop every music industry analyst cold. When asked about the All Too Well short film, Taylor Swift didn't describe inspiration. She didn't describe emotion. She described a production pipeline she had been quietly building for years. Think about what that means. While every journalist was covering her relationships and her feuds and her re-recording battle with Scooter Braun, Taylor Swift was quietly becoming a director, building technical skills, learning the craft, positioning herself for an industry pivot that nobody saw coming. And the 10-minute song? That was the vehicle. A decade of fan obsession finally released, not just as a song, but as a cinematic event. A short film with real actors, Sadie Sink, Dylan O'Brien, a scripted narrative, and then on top of the script, freedom takes, ad-lib rounds where the actors could play, where they could add their own emotional truth. That is the behavior of someone who understands filmmaking at a structural level. Giving actors a scripted foundation and then releasing them into improvisation is not what first-time directors do. That is the technique of someone who has studied the craft deeply and privately.
I just love it. It's a very natural extension of my storytelling. So I thought I want to make a short film and really do this song justice, and where you get to do what.
She let the fans believe they won. She let them think their decade of demanding the 10-minute version finally broke her down. But the truth she exposed in that interview is far more unsettling than fan persistence. She was always going to release it. The timeline was always hers. This obsession was the marketing campaign, and now she was announcing on live television that directing was not a side hobby. She said, and these are her words, that she would do anything to keep learning and keep growing in that world. That is not the language of someone dabbling. That is a career declaration. The host laughed. The audience clapped. Everyone treated it like a charming anecdote. But what Taylor Swift had just done was announce publicly that the music industry is no longer big enough for her ambitions. Consider the full picture. She is in the middle of her re-recording project, a legal and financial war to reclaim. ownership of her first 6 albums from Scooter Braun's acquisition of Big Machine Records. That battle is already one of the most strategically complex moves in modern music history. At the same time, she is quietly developing a parallel career in film and visual storytelling. The two are not separate. They are connected. The re-recordings are not just about ownership. They are a content library, and a director with a content library has leverage that a recording artist alone never could. She is not rebuilding her catalog. She is building a studio. And the interview where she laughed and talked about casting Sadie Sink and letting actors improvise, that was not a behind-the-scenes peek. That was a press announcement dressed up as a casual conversation. The fans who spent 10 years demanding the full version of All Too Well, they got what they asked for. But they also, without knowing it, spent 10 years doing unpaid promotional work for a product that was always going to exist. The mystery was the marketing. The demand was manufactured from the moment she mentioned it. Does that make her a villain? Or does it make her the single most strategically intelligent artist working in the entertainment industry today? There's a version of this story where Taylor Swift is a genius who simply mastered the mechanics of fan psychology and used them to build an empire. And there is another version where the line between authentic artistic expression and calculated audience. Manipulation has become so blurred that even she can no longer tell the difference. What is certain is this: the short film exists. The 10-minute version is out. The fans feel heard, and Taylor Swift is now openly positioning herself as a filmmaker. Every piece of the story landed exactly where she needed it to land. One more question lingers, though. If this was the strategy she accidentally exposed, what is the strategy she's still hiding? If you want to know what the industry doesn't want you to figure out, subscribe to Celebzova right now. We're watching everything they think we're missing.